Hi there, this is Ajit Navlakha, co-founder of EverCoach, and today we are going to talk about something that has been a problem with entrepreneurs for, I think, years. How not to be overwhelmed. At the end of this video, what I want you to achieve is that next time, whenever you feel overwhelmed, you would have an exact step process to get over it. You see, for several years, because I work on so many businesses, so many projects, I'm helping so many friends, there's always tends to be more and more items that I'm reviewing. And that led me to be in this place where I was always overwhelmed. There was always more things to do. I was working 12, 14 hours days, and it was just absolutely insane. And I would constantly be in the cycle, and I had to find a way somehow to get out of the cycle so I wouldn't feel overwhelmed, and I could be in my place of bliss and presence and really deliver in the greatest way I can. While exploring the opportunity of saying how to get over these moments of overwhelm, how to really figure out that if I am overwhelmed, I have a process to actually solve the thing. I was speaking to a couple of friends, and we found there are very specific 3 steps that if you take, you can get over pretty much most of the problems, if not all. Okay? First is if you understand the problem. So if you can understand why that problem happens, what is the factors that lead that problem to occur in your life? What is the reason why that problem shows up in your life again and again and again? That's the first thing. The second step is usually you identify as to what's the counter of that. So you kind of find the counter or the solution, if I may, of that particular why. Because once you understand the problem itself, there are many known solutions to every problem or most of the problems that we can identify. And lastly, you go ahead and then you execute it. And it is literally that simple. That simple 3-step process can help you solve most of the problems that you will incur. Is first understand the problem, and once you've understood it, look for a known solution of that problem. You don't even have to create it. Sometimes you can create it too, but just look for a known solution of that problem, execute that solution, and your problem is obsolete now. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 most common reasons why people get overwhelmed. What is the why behind it? That is probably the reason why you are overwhelmed if you get overwhelmed. What is the known solution for it and how you can execute it and take it back to your life. So the first known reason, or first most common reason that happens for entrepreneurs and why they get overwhelmed is because they are uncertain. Uncertainty is one of the biggest known reasons that an entrepreneur would always feel so unsure and feel overwhelmed about everything that is happening in their business, in their personal lives, because every morning you wake up and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen today. Today is uncertainty 2.0, uncertainty 3.0 in one or other area of your life. And that doesn't help because you feel you're not in control. You feel like, oh my God, I have no idea what to do here. And you feel very, very uncomfortable and hence overwhelmed with the situation itself. So now we know that the why that happens is uncertainty. So let's solve this problem. What is the counter to uncertainty? It's very straightforward, right? It's certainty. We all know that certainty takes care. If you have certainty, you have taken care of uncertainty, right? So that's how you go from the why was uncertainty, and now we are going to go, okay, so let's create certainty. And there is a known solution to create certainty. Guess what is that? You schedule. Right? So most of the entrepreneurs would go in like this in their business, okay? It's a reactive business. It's literally like, oh, somebody sent me an email, I'll reply to it, or okay, what are we doing this month, or okay, can we run this promo, etc., etc., etc. Usually, especially in the small and medium-sized businesses, this is the most common problem. There is no plan for the year. There is no in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, this is what is happening. This is what scheduling does, okay? You literally go in and you take an Excel sheet, take a Google document or a Pages document or whatever document you want to use, a numbers document, and you literally say Jan, Feb, and make the plan for the entire year. Write down what's going to happen in January. Write down what's going to happen in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, every month. What is the activity that is going to drive the business? What is the activity that is going to create certainty in your business? What is the area that you will focus on? So schedule itself will take care of creating certainty and hence countering uncertainty. Every day when you wake up and you have to question of what's going to happen today will not be a question anymore because you already know what's going to happen today because you have your monthly plan set. right? So one of the biggest reasons why we get overwhelmed is because we don't know, we are uncertain, and so we create that certainty by creating a schedule, a plan, a monthly broken down plan, right? So that's first why. The second why, the most common second why, is when you have too many options. As entrepreneurs and business people, people who are leading the community, leading the businesses, economy, everything, everybody wants to give us another advice, right? Everybody wants to go, okay, now you can work on this particular campaign, this platform, do this, do that. This is why your business is not growing. Everybody has an option, an opinion about what we should be doing next, right? Pain, very, very painful situation to be in, because you are always like, maybe that's why my business is not growing. Maybe that's why what I need to do. Maybe this is what I need to do. And there's so many options and opportunities, and maybe all of them are right. But guess what? We can't execute all of them. We get overwhelmed. We get so, oh my God, I have to do this and that. And again, it leads to those 14 hours, 18-hour days where we're just dragging ourselves from one idea to another idea to another idea. And we're not really going any place further. We're just simply overwhelmed. And here is how you deal with it. Yes, it will sound almost like rocket science, is you eliminate options, right? That's the counter to having too many options, is you simply come up with a process to eliminate options. I'll give you the process, but that's what we got to do. We got to simply say, okay, I got these many hours in the day where I am at my peak. I can do great work. I enjoy what I'm doing. My business doesn't feel like a drag. It feels powerful to me, and I can grow it further by doing just these X number of hours, because that's how I want my business to run. Whatever that case be, it doesn't have to be 4, it could be 8, it could be 12. Whatever you fancy till the time. It is not from a place of overwhelm, but it's a place of power where you are defining, you're excited about doing what you're doing. You're not doing it because, oh my God, that's one more thing that I got to do, right? It's not one more thing that you got to do. It's one more empowering thing that you want to do, right? As entrepreneurs, you don't want to be in a place where you have to do something. You should choose to do what you need to do, right? Because that's how we define our business. Our business doesn't define us. We define our business, right? So what you need to do is you need to eliminate these options. And here is how you eliminate options. You simply follow the process or the principle of 20% of 20%. What does that mean? Have you heard the 80-20 principle, where you do 20% of your activities get 80% of your results? You need to find first that, the 20% of the activities that get 80% of your results, and then you need to find the 20% of that. Okay? So that's the 20% of the 20%. Right? So you find the smaller segment. So that way you would have found this 8-10% of your activities that actually bring profound results to your business. Very, very few activities, 1, 2, maybe 3 activities that bring profound result to your business, and you just focus on that. And because that eliminates everything else that may be an option to do to grow your business or start a new business or whatever, you will simply be able to say, is that the 20% of my 20%? If the answer is no, you know that that's not the option you need to go for. So it's easy to eliminate, and so the list of 200 items that you could be doing becomes a list of maybe 2 items, because that's the 20% of the 20%, right? So that's the second big element where you feel overwhelmed, is when you have too many options. The third and the most, again, the third most common area of situation where you feel overwhelmed is when you are just not aware, or not, you don't feel empowered, or you just don't know. That's the thing. You have no knowledge or education on that particular topic. So when you are in this situation where you don't have enough information, you don't have enough knowledge, again, overwhelm just creeps in, and you go in and you go, I don't know what to do. It's just overwhelming. All of a sudden, that situation feels like a burden. It feels like a drag. It feels like something that's fallen on you, and you have no idea where to go, right? And a simple solution, again, to that is simply you learn. But here is the catch. You don't always have to learn yourself. Sometimes you just simply delegate. Delegate your learning. Yes, because when you're not aware of a particular situation, sometimes they're so tricky, and the reason why you're not aware is because you're not skilled, or it's just not your style, it's not your mind that works that way. For example, I like to create, right? But if you'll give me a legal document to figure out, I'll probably not do a great job at it, right? It's not because I'm not sensible, it's just because that's just not where the area of expertise that I've built. That's just not the area I play in as well as I play in the area of creative or marketing work, right? So what I do is I delegate it to one of my teammates who does like doing contracts and does like working on the legal stuff, and they take care of getting that knowledge and information and taking it further and creating that space for the company still to be able to not feel overwhelmed, because now I can simply delegate it to that person, that teammate, and they can take care of the stuff, right? How do you create that learning path for yourself or your team members is through rituals. So what you got to do is you got to put in daily practice. It doesn't happen overnight. Nobody learns anything overnight. Learning happens as a step process. It happens by everyday work. It happens by everyday work. It happens by everyday knowledge gathering. It happens by everyday conversations. And you need to put that into your ritual. You need to set aside 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour every day, if that needs to be, to simply go in and say, I'm going to go and learn this particular topic. In a scope of maybe 5 days, 10 days, you will already feel overwhelmed go away, because you will feel empowered, because all of a sudden you have more knowledge than you had previously, right? And so your overwhelm starts to drizzle away, because your person or yourself feel more empowered to go, oh, I know how to make this happen. I feel I know how this is going to plan. That overwhelm of I don't know goes away. And because you have set out yourself on a ritual, again, it's a combination of scheduling it and saying, it's okay, right now I feel overwhelmed, it's fine. Let's see what's the reason for it, and then working towards it. So if you captured it, what we said is there are 3 reasons to really be overwhelmed, or somebody gets overwhelmed. But essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out why we are overwhelmed, what is the reason behind it, and then we're trying to find a counter to it. And an unknown counter, it's available all over the internet. You can Google it, you can find it on YouTube, there are tons of places, and then go ahead and execute it. Put a simple plan in place, something that you can follow through on, and that's your simple process. And that's what we did. We said there are 3 big whys that a person may feel overwhelmed. One was uncertainty, one was too many options, and one was just not having enough information. And we found that all 3 of them can be sorted really, really easily. This is Ajit Navlakha, co-founder of EverCoach, presenting you how you can get over your overwhelming state if you are in right now, or how to deal with overwhelm generally. I'm sure you enjoyed this video. I'm sure this training helped you. So go ahead and subscribe on this channel, and I will see you soon. Adios, amigos.